Hey guys, I'm Angelo, and welcome back to Crypto Coin Consultants. Today I'll be giving you a rundown of the terms and slang you'll hear most frequently in the cryptocurrency space. Let's get started with the person responsible for its inception, Satoshi Nakamoto. Some people believe Satoshi Nakamoto is Bitcoin's actual inventor, while others believe it's a pseudonym. It's definitely the name most heard of when it comes to the question of who invented Bitcoin. Because of this, a lot of people refer to Bitcoin as Satoshis, or a shorter version is Sats, as in, this coin costs 25 Sats. Where should you store your Satoshis and other coins? Well, one place you could use is cold storage. Cold storage means storing access to your coins on an offline device, thus keeping them off of exchanges. If an exchange gets hacked, you'll have nothing to worry about because your coins are not stored there. Instead, you had them printed on a piece of paper stashed safely somewhere like a secure vault. Printing your private keys on a piece of paper is called a paper wallet. Paper wallets are a more old-fashioned way of storing access to your coins. They're a form of cold storage in which public and private keys are shown on a piece of paper. Another form of cold storage is a hardware wallet. The most commonly used hardware wallet is the Ledger Nano S. These tangible devices are so popular nowadays that it sometimes takes months to get your order in the mail. Sounds like a smart tool to have? That's because it is. Everyone who's serious about crypto should be using one form of cold storage or another, except for those who are actively trading. You may hear active day and swing traders talking about their short position. Also known as shorting, taking a short position is when you sell off a coin because you believe the price will drop, oftentimes with the intent of buying back in later at a lower price. If Bitcoin is at $10,000, for example, and you expect the price to drop, taking a short position would entail selling it off now for $10,000, then buying it back at a cheaper price, say $5,000. Doing so lets you either use your $10,000 to buy 2 Bitcoin at $5,000 each, or just buy 1 Bitcoin at $5,000 and pocketing the other $5,000. Also known as longing, taking a long position is when you buy a coin with the assumption that its value will go up over time, and you're willing to hold on until it reaches a price point where you can sell for a nice profit. Okay, so now that you know some of the technical terms, here's some of the more fun ones you'll see or hear in chatter all across the web. FUD. FUD stands for fear, uncertainty, and doubt. It's a disinformation strategy not only used in crypto, but in sales, marketing, public relations, talk radio, politics, and even religious organizations and propaganda. FUD almost always leads to a lot of people selling, mostly by people with weak hands. Weak hands is what you call people who can't or don't want to be patient, selling off their coins at a loss and/or when the market is down. The opposite of FUD is FOMO. FOMO stands for fear of missing out. Advice that a lot of people will give you is sell high, buy low. Simple and logic advice. When a coin increases a lot in value over a short period of time, people start feeling the fear of missing out, especially when a coin spikes without an underlying reason or development. FOMO moments generally tend to be a good time to sell. This is because market demand for a coin is higher than the supply, or in simpler terms, there are more people looking to buy in hopes of the coin gaining even more momentum than there are people willing to sell. This effect puts an upward pressure on the coin's price. Keep in mind though that FOMO doesn't always have the same outcome. Some coins continue to pump, while others drop like a rock, sometimes because the spike was caused by a pump and dump. A pump and dump is basically when one person or a group of people try to induce FOMO. A large trader or a group of traders buy huge volumes, causing a sudden price rise and causing uninformed traders suffering from FOMO to jump on board, driving the price up even further, before the people who started the pump all of a sudden sell everything off, the dump, thus leaving those who tried to board the ship on a sinking boat. A pump and dump is easiest to pull off with a coin that has a small market cap. Short for market capitalization, market cap is used to illustrate a coin's dominance in the entire cryptocurrency market. Naturally, the price of a coin with a small market cap is easier and cheaper to manipulate than that of a coin with a large market cap, such as Bitcoin or Ethereum. Market cap is calculated by taking the coin's current price and multiplying it by the entire coin's total supply. If you see a spike, then make sure you do your own research. And if it's a small coin and you can't find a reason as to why it's pumping, then it's probably best to stay away because you don't want to become food for whales. Whales are people who hold a large amount of a certain coin, often worth a lot of money in terms of US dollars. Pump and dumps are often initiated by a whale or a group of whales. They tend to be able to move the market, whether it's via a pump and dump or a regular buy or sell off, simply because of how much money they move at once. In the case of a pump and dump, there are a lot of victims who bought in high and are now unable to sell unless they're willing to do so at a loss. These people are referred to as bag holders. A bag holder is essentially an unfortunate soul who, at the end of the day, be it through a pump and dump or just bad timing, is stuck holding a bag of a certain coin, meaning they bought with the intention of selling at a higher price, but the market just moved too fast. That person is ultimately left with a coin they don't want at a price they can't sell. Nobody wants to ever sell a coin at a loss, of course, at least not ideally. Everyone wants to sell at an all-time high. Abbreviated by ATH, the only reason you wouldn't sell off during an all-time high is if you think the coin will go up even further, despite having already reached an all-time high. An ATH is often the result of a coin mooning. When moon has become an all too familiar question in Telegram groups especially. When someone asks that question, they're basically asking when a coin is going to blow up and spike in price. You won't benefit from a coin mooning and reaching an ATH if you didn't HODL. The term HODL originated in a December 2013 post on a Bitcoin online forum by an apparently inebriated user who posted with a typo in the subject line, "I am HODLing," and it all took off from there. It is arguably the most popular crypto-related slang term today. Those who are HODLing strong might be suffering from OCD, or obsessive cryptocurrency disorder. That's what those who can't stop monitoring the value of their coins are called. And if they aren't monitoring their coins, then they're probably shilling them to their friends or on Reddit or in Telegram groups. Shilling means convincing as many people as you can that a particular coin is going to do well. But you don't have to shill already established coins. You can also shill projects that are still in their ICO stage. ICO stands for Initial Coin Offering. The term ICO is the crypto version of the corporate abbreviation IPO, or Initial Public Offering, which is what more traditional companies participate in when they first intend to sell off shares to the public. Once the ICO ends and the tokens are distributed to the public, then the public will start referring to that coin as an altcoin. An altcoin is every cryptocurrency that is not Bitcoin. Bit2 is not referred to as an altcoin, as it's the original coin. When Bitcoin and or altcoins are going down hard in price, then some people get excited and tell you to BTFD, or buy the dip. Some traders who keep a part of their portfolio in Tether or USD will actually get excited when the market takes a nosedive because it gives them a chance to BTFD. Whether it's Bitcoin or altcoins going down, these are the smart traders who will be buying the blood. Another thing Bitcoin and altcoins have in common is the occasional fork. Without getting into too much detail, a fork is essentially a divergence in a cryptocurrency's blockchain. If you want to learn about forks more in depth, click on the card at the top right corner of your screen to watch my other video made exclusively about soft and hard forks. The people who really play an important part in whether or not a fork is going to be successful are the miners. Miners use special software to solve complex mathematical problems and are issued a certain number of bitcoins or satoshis in exchange. This provides a smarter way to issue the currency and also creates an incentive for more people to both mine and support the coin's network. Without getting too technical, it's essential to remember that a smart contract within Universa is just executable script data stored in tree structures. Information is stored in a key value format, with each key representing a global unique address and a value that can be either a fixed value, dynamically executing scripts,